Hello YouTube and the tribes of the horror realm, and this is a recap of HorrorHound Weekend for November of 2012. Of course, this was the big show that just pretty much blew everything else out of the water this year because it was the first and apparently only appearance by Scream Queen Jamie Lee Curtis. And so what we did is we took a few days off of work and left here on Thursday. Of course, we're just south of Boston in Massachusetts. And took a long drive down to Baltimore, Maryland to meet up with a couple of good friends. Um, One was 410 Goodfellas, Tim. Also 13 the Bear, Mark. And accompanying us this time, it was Mark's wife. I don't even know if he wants her name mentioned, does he? Mrs. Pear. We left on a Friday morning to trek out to Indianapolis, Indiana, and it took about 8 hours to get there. And as soon as we checked in, we ended up getting into line to get our tickets, which was supposedly will call. And the earlier you got your tickets, the earlier you got in to see Jamie Lee Curtis. Mark and I were we were respectively second and third in line. Tim was the first VIP in line. And this is where they first kind of screwed things up because they were handing out the tickets which had a sequentially numbered, like a raffle ticket, serial number ticket attached to it. But there was no actual order for the tickets the way they were giving them out. So I actually had a lower number than Mark, and even Mark had a lower number than Tim. But you know, that's par for the course, because even when they were trying to send people up for tickets, they were asking who had you know, order numbers for when they ordered things that were within a certain bracket, which was a bit irritating because it's like, okay, we get there hours ahead of time and wait, but you're going to go down and look for someone that just came in 10 minutes ago and tell him go ahead and check in before us. So it was very frustrating. Several hours. It just didn't seem like the place knew how to handle the situation. You know, HorrorHound has a really strong reputation for putting on some really good shows. They get some really great guests. It's just, in my opinion, that this particular one was just beyond what their capabilities of handling it. You know, they think that it was a bit overwhelming, and I think the tickets should have actually gone out earlier than that. But you know what? I'm not the one handling it, so who knows? But once the show started, Jamie was only there Saturday and Sunday, so we always like a good Friday show because it's usually low key, and we're able to get a lot of the guests that we need to get. Yeah. In this case, the first ones we headed off to was
Nick Castle.
And in case people don't know who that is,
Michael Myers in the first Halloween.
I don't know how many shows Nick has done. It's been a couple years since, I think at least a year and a half since he has started doing conventions. But we went and got to meet Nick. He was really upbeat.
Very nice.
Had him sign our replica pumpkin. Got to ask him about a lot of the scenes that where, of course, he split duty with Tommy Lee Wallace, and he pretty much said anything that resemble the stunt they made Tommy do, and he said he did the real acting because he figured they didn't want to damage his good looks and figured they could sacrifice Tommy. I think a lot of his responses were tailored to try to needle Tommy Wallace, who was sitting right next to him. Which led us again to the next person, which was Tommy Lee Wallace. Now, Tommy we had gotten before on the pumpkin. In this case, we wanted to get him on our fog one sheet. So our theme this show, besides getting a few Halloween people, is to tackle our fog project, which is our one sheet. We got Tommy to sign the one sheet, as well as the handle of this hook. If anyone remembers the scene in the fog when Weatherman Dan O'Bannon opens the door, he thinks it's just people playing a prank. He's soon grabbed by one of the leper ghosts and is given the right into the neck. So Tommy was actually really excited about signing this. He had mentioned was just watched The Fog recently again and realized he had done that kill, and he had never signed one of these, so he was pretty excited about doing it. Tommy has a really stylized signature, and he started going around the edges with it, trying to make it look really nice and presentable. He went on to talk about trying to bring up memories about the movie and that scene with Nick Castle. Castle was just listening to him and then finally said, "I wasn't there." Maybe it's because Atkins was playing a character named Nick Castle. He got a little mixed up.
Maybe.
Following that, we went and saw who?
Charles Cyphers.
Nope.
No?
Who was next? Next to Tommy Lee Wallace?
Oh, was William Sandown.
Will Sandon, who played Michael Myers at age 6. Will's now a deputy sheriff in Los Angeles County, but we're happy to add him to the pumpkin and get a photo op with him.
He still looks so young.
Yeah, what is he now? That would probably put him at around 41 now, wouldn't it?
He looks young for his age.
Something around that effect. We went and got Charles Cyphers. Yeah. And Cyphers had a really pretty decent line. Guess he hadn't done indie before. He was a little hobbled on a cane because he had just gotten his hip replaced. But he was in pretty good spirits, and we had him sign the fog poster and made sure that he correctly wrote the character Dan O'Bannon and not his Halloween character. Which has happened to some unfortunate individuals. Of course, those are the ancillary characters in the fog, but the two, the main character, or one of them, was Stevie Wayne, the DJ, and that was Adrienne Barbeau. We got to meet Adrienne. We saw her down in the lobby earlier, but this time around we went up and added her to the poster, as well as one person that if you ever go to a convention you gotta go meet, and that person can be addressed in 2 simple words: the Atkins. And I mean Tom Atkins. Night of the Creeps, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, The Fog, Mighty Bloody Valentine remake. I mean, guy's done a lot of work, and he is a friggin' howl.
He's such a nice guy, but he's so funny.
So we went up there and wanted to add him to the fog poster, and he asked what our names were, and I introduced us as Spanky and Alfalfa, which referenced, of course, Night of the Creeps, and he played right along going, "Spanky, Alfalfa, it's been a long time, let's go get a beer." So he signed the poster for us, as well as an 8x10 that we wanted to give to some friends that were taking care of our kiddies for the weekend. then after that, we went and got a chance to catch up with some some friends that are in the industry, and we met for the first time Timothy Weber, who was in one of our favorite underrated slasher films,
Yes.
Terror Train. He played Jimmy Lee Curtis's character's boyfriend, Mo. This was Timothy's first convention. He's still a working actor doing a sitcom up in Canada. So we got to chat with him a bit, exchange some stories. Uh, Timothy was decked out in a kilt
Yeah.
because of his Scottish background. So we were talking about kilts for a while. Um, After that, we pretty much decided to call it a night. Um, Checked out a bit of some of the panels. The the panels were very tough to hear, and it was very dark. Um, I don't know what the story was with that one, but you couldn't hear too much from the panels. Never mind see who was up there if you weren't really up close. So that being said, we kind of ducked out and decided just to go to the room, get some dinner and stuff like that, and call it a night. So again, I don't know what went on with the whole running of the panels and all, but a little light and better audio would have been super to keep everyone's interest. Saturday, got up pretty early, went down because we heard Jamie Lee was going to start signing at 10 a.m. Waited around, and when that struck, we were able to get in because we had a lower number ticket. But once we were in there, all the VIPs were coming in and wanted to get signatures. I guess the staff didn't realize that all the VIPs would want to get their signature right away. Really? So then they had non-VIPs with low numbers and VIPs, and then they were saying non-VIPs sit back, bring up the VIPs. It was varying information, and after a couple hours, Tim and Mark joined us. Um, Tim being the only VIP out of the group of us, but speaking to another individual there, they just said, just stay where you are and move along in this accordion-like, snake-like seating that they wanted you to go through, which, again, was a little annoying because, like, every time someone moved up, then everyone would move a seat or something, and it was like, you could have done it in better chunks or something like that, but Jamie, Jamie looked great. She
Oh, yes, she did.
was very engaging with everybody. I thought this was going to be one of those. She kept her head down, kept signing, move along, just because there was so many of them. But it was absolutely the opposite. She was very talkative. She was telling stories. She would address the crowd that was there. Um, it took her a lot of time. Um, she's quite interesting. I don't think I've ever met a celebrity that curses as much as she does. Um, but it was actually overall, it was a really great experience getting to meet Jamie Lee Curtis. Um, by the time we got up there, she got into a friendly spirited argument over her final line in the movie Halloween. Um, Her agent Sean Clark insisted she was saying, "Was it the boogeyman?" She kept claiming she was stating it was the boogeyman, and that went back and forth. Neither one giving in. Sean bringing up the video or the movie itself, trying to get her to listen. Her cursing him out. Eventually, Mark pulled out the script that he had gotten from Brian Andrews and pointed out the line it was the boogeyman, which Jamie Lee pretty much said, screamed out that line with an extra F-bomb added.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the script. Um, but we got chatting with her a bit. She found out that about our wedding with Halloween music and a little bit of a horror bent to it, so she asked us to just forward that along to her through her agent so she can take a look at it because she was really interested in checking it out. So Teresa has good dinner fodder at Thanksgiving to throw at her sisters.
That made me feel so special that she wanted to see our wedding.
That's because she would probably thinks that we're crazy town. So after that, we went out and we sat down, still another side of the room, and waited for the photo op, which ran pretty quick, probably about, I'd say, just over an hour and 25 minutes maybe. They pretty much marched right in. You went right up, stood next to her. They clicked the picture and moved right along. But they did a fantastic job, the photo op people. All the photos came out great. They ran it very smoothly. So, anyways, this was the photo. Who knows how close I have that, but right after that we went and saw Nancy Stevens. Of course, Nancy is a very rare guest on the circuit. I don't think she's done more than one other convention. She played Nurse Marion Chambers in Halloween 2, and then I believe Resurrection, I think it is. She was the one that drove with Donald Pleasance to Smith Grove's hospital. The line was really long for her.
It was extremely long.
We waited probably around an hour and a half in that line. But we finally were able to get a hold of her. We were hoping to add Ty Mitchell, who played Andy Wayne in The Fog, but he was nowhere to be seen. And I think he may have signed 2 autographs and went AWOL, and who knows if he even made it out of there alive. Of course, the place was packed. A lot of guests, a lot of convention goers. We were hoping to run into some YouTubers because we were traversing further than our normal East Coast area, and I know a lot of people were planning on going, and we were hoping to run into them. We did get to run into one of our fellow YouTube buddies, Ryan 1988 Justin. It was great seeing you there. We got to chat with him. He was in line when I saw him to add Charles Cyphers onto that, his awesome 30th anniversary, 30 years of Terror poster, I'm sorry, that he has been working on. So check out Justin's channel to see his update of his experience at the show. But beyond that, we really didn't run into too many other YouTubers we thought we might see there. But you know, it's a busy show and it gets pretty hectic.
I was recognized though.
Well,
there was a girl there, and she saw me, and she said, "I know you. You're on YouTube." So.
Now that's happened. Imagine how I have to live with her now.
I didn't mean it that way.
So, anyways, Jamie Lee, of course, Saturday she was signing away. It was taking a lot longer than they anticipated. The signing was supposed to end at 7 o'clock, and it ran way over that. She was supposed to take a break and then do a Q&A at 9 p.m. That didn't happen because of all the people she still had to sign for, and she really didn't stop what she was doing as far as writing quotes and inscriptions and all, such, but they had to extend when the Q&A was going to take place. So she kept signing until 10:30 at night. So and then did immediately after that a 1 hour Q&A. So overall, she was there for about 13 and a half hours with minimal breaks, signing away for everyone. After the Q&A, we pretty much went back to the room. We were pretty tired from a long day, and we were planning on heading out early because we had a hell of a drive ahead of us. 16 hours traveled all the way back home, and we didn't get home till late at night. So we left around 6 in the morning. Overall, we did have a great time. It was just a little bit chaotic at the very beginning, but you know, it's the way it is. Could have been worse. Like I said, it doesn't deter us. We're still thinking about going for March. If some of the rumored names end up becoming fact, then we'll make the trip down to Baltimore again and meet our good friends again and head out there, because we really had a blast.
Yeah.
Going with friends, because more the merrier. You get to experience the convention together. So check out Mark 13 the Bear's recap of HorrorHound. He's done a video showing what he's picked up and his thoughts on it as well. You might have to turn your head upside down. For some reason his video is upside down. Tim, 410 Goodfellas, he'll have a video up as well, I'm sure. So that's about it. We've kind of run on pretty long. So if you stuck with us this long and didn't veer off to see something far more entertaining, well, thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.